welcome back to the Woodridge podcast. I'm Jordan O'Keefe.
Michael Wright.
And this is episode 2. We're going to get to know Michael better. I've got a range of questions lined up. I actually can't wait to get into this. It's going to be interesting because a lot of people probably that's watching this will know or are familiar with me and not as familiar with you. So this is going to be good. And obviously in the first podcast, then people that know you in America obviously didn't know me. You've got to know me a little better. And as time goes on, we're going to get to know each other a lot better. So how's things, man? How you keeping?
Yeah. Well, it feels like it's been forever since we did the first episode. And we probably haven't. If you haven't watched the first episode, I'd encourage you to do so. We are on YouTube and we are on Spotify.
Yeah.
So wherever you consume your video and audio, definitely check us out because the first episode was really just about your journey of getting to Britain's Got Talent and then kind of the journey thereafter.
Yeah.
And we found out some interesting things as well. His obsession with smash burgers. Just
love burgers.
So we have some things planned from that episode, and we've gotten some great feedback. So really appreciate the comments and you guys messaging us. Keep it coming so we know what's interesting to you, and we will look to encourage that conversation when we meet as we look to bring on guests in future episodes as well.
Yeah.
But as far as us chatting today, I mean, Jordan's already kind of freaked me out a bit. He's brought his laptop in. He's got a full page of notes.
Of questions here.
A range. This will be good.
They're going to start off very, very small and like wee little small things. But like first of all, so like how have you been keeping, man? Obviously, it's been like we really haven't seen each other this last while. Life's been hectic.
Yeah, it really has.
You know, you've been flat out with other things, and you know, family life gets in the way too, man. It's been busy, and so yeah, you're keeping well.
I'm keeping all right. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because even if you are neighbors, you really just see each other in passing. It's like, you're at the traffic light or the
But
whatever.
I think too, at the start, we were like, we seen each other a lot. And then it was like, you know, and that's the way things are. It's like, it's all good at the start. But then sometimes life creeps in and it's like, right, you know, you just have to sort of take it back. Like I haven't really been on here as much as well. Although I'm still trying to pass by. I'm writing a lot of songs and stuff. And like there's a lot of exciting things coming up. We have our first original gig.
That's right, in November 15th.
Watching this. We're supporting Johnny Brady down in the barn in Kelly's complex. It's going to be exciting. It's a completely original gig. It's going to be a seated event. So if you want to come along and see us, it's going to be great. And I think it's going to be me, you, and actually a banjo player.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Finding this out for the first time.
Yeah, no. Literally just
cool.
I only found it out for the first time like 2 days ago.
Right.
I was like, we're going to have a banjo player, so we're going to have to do a bit of practicing for that.
Yeah, we probably should practice. And that's the thing. It's for those of you watching this, you are literally watching Jordan and I catch up for the first time in like a month because we haven't really seen each other. And we do have grand plans and ambitions to record these and get a backlog going so we can do this more regularly. But
and the thing is,
busy.
there's no pressure on it. You know what I mean? We're just enjoying it, and that's a good thing about it. And like obviously you've got work, and obviously I've got gigs and stuff like that happening, and but it's good to finally see you again, man, and good to get chatting to you. Will we get into these questions?
Let's do it. Yeah, let's find out a bit more because
we're gonna start off with just really basic, things that I don't really actually probably know about it. So what is like what's your favorite drink? Now obviously I'm going to ask you these things from like being in America, being in Ireland. So when you were growing up in America, because I have one, what was your favorite American beverage growing up?
Ooh, probably would be A&W cream soda.
Cream soda?
Yeah.
Let me down, man.
Not what, in America?
Yeah.
What were you expecting this to be Coke?
Root beer?
But it's a root beer brand.
I know it is. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I mean, what, you think I was going to say A&W root beer?
Yeah. I was going to be like, yes.
Yeah, root beer is great, but we can go for the more vanilla. Cream soda's the nice one. And the KFCs in America, Kentucky Fried Chicken, they
must be a lot better than here.
The KFC?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't trust the KFCs over here.
Oh man, they're shocking. The only one here I think shut down. The one on the Strand Road. I think it's done. It actually just it didn't even tell anybody. It just closed.
When? Because that's beside Sainsbury's. It's still there. There's always cars, aren't there?
When was the last time you were there?
I don't know. We should actually ask my friend John. He goes to the gym beside it.
Oh, does he? Does he get a fair gym? Right. Well, yeah. From what I've heard, it's shut down. But so there you go. A&W cream soda. I've obviously been in America, and the first time I ever had a root beer.
Yeah.
Was there.
Okay.
It blew my mind. It was like, do you know deep heat?
Like the heating cream?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It literally tastes like that.
How would you know what that tastes like?
Exactly. I don't. I only smell it. But it tastes like how it smells.
Yeah. It's an interesting drink. I mean, because obviously in the States during 4th of July celebrations and American independence and all that, root beer floats are a big thing that you get.
With ice cream.
With ice cream, yeah.
And so like a cream soda, is that just lemonade with ice cream on top?
Cream soda? Like the drink that I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not lemonade at all. It's root beer.
Oh, is it?
But it's a vanilla version. Is how I would describe it.
What?
Yeah. So it's all right. We'll have to find that drink over here.
Man, don't be telling me
I
that.
think the Pound Store has cream soda.
No way.
They've got a little American section.
I didn't know it was root beer. I thought
No, it's a root beer brand, and then underneath it's just like a flavor variation. I think
it's like a vanilla root beer.
It's like a vanilla root beer.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So
Michael, I'm getting one.
You bring the football special. I'll bring the.
Well, funny enough,
what?
We've been asked to use football special on our program as a sponsor.
Seriously?
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to try. I'm gonna have to try this drink.
A guy messaged me yesterday saying that he wants to throw us a couple of beverages, and obviously he's going to sponsor an episode. So
amazing. Well, I will look forward to trying this.
Soda.
Yeah.
I'll bring the football special. Well, cheers.
Yeah, and give it a taste experiment at the same time.
Exactly. So on to your favorite Irish beverage. You haven't tried football special yet?
I haven't tried that. I'm not a tea drinker.
No.
And that's been the biggest cultural change of coming over and everyone offering you a tea when you get in their house.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
it's like
so like over in England America. It's like do you don't drink tea at all? Is it more coffee?
It's definitely coffee.
So if you came around to someone's house, would they say
no?
What would they offer you? Water
or a soft drink or
I
mean, this could be. I'm not speaking on behalf of all of Americans.
Yes, you are.
but it is not common. Well, mainly, and this is probably a big thing. You can find it on Reddit threads. We don't have kettles. Yeah. So if you're to like traditionally ask somebody, so if you want to heat water up, use the microwave.
What? Melina does that.
But you have a kettle.
I know.
Is that
Tell her that. Don't be telling me. I'm not the one doing it.
Yeah, no, we don't. I mean, maybe if you're like in a very, I don't know, cultural or fancy part of the States.
You can't buy a kettle in America.
You could probably buy a kettle. I'm sure there's like expats from here that live there. But we don't have a kettle in my house. Like, why would you? If you want to boil water, use the stovetop. Or
stove. That's what I was thinking. Like a little teapot in the stove.
I dare say just use like a
saucepan.
Pasta pan.
All right, okay. I was expecting to be.
Yeah, no, we don't. I mean, I'm sure I definitely can tell you my dad doesn't have a kettle or those little things that heat up on the stove. I've
seen a picture of your dad. The way he doesn't look like a man's going to have a kettle. He looks like a man that goes out and hunts and brings stuff back, and like he goes out, looks like he goes and gets the water from a stream. And like,
I mean, that's so funny because he's like the furthest thing from that.
Is it? So just I've seen a picture of Michael's dad, and he's got like it's like long hair, isn't it? Beard. And
yeah, he was definitely growing all that out, but you find him at like a computer screen, working away.
But like you, then that's the you're sort of like that.
Kind of going that way.
Would you ever hunt?
I have hunted before.
Yeah,
I lived in Canada for 2 years, and to like properly adjust to the culture and fit in, I did a whole hunting. How
did you find
got rifle certified, and
did he?
Yeah, you have to, and it's very different gun laws and everything in Canada versus the States. But so in order to even go out and go hunting to get your hunting tags, you have to go through a course and learn how to skin the animal and all that sort of stuff. And this was when I was actually meeting my wife. She was not happy at all because she's very pro-vegetarian.
But I was actually going to bring this up. So Michael's married and you have 2 beautiful kids.
Thanks.
So like you met in Canada. And this is the mad story of it all. Laura grew up down the street from me, and obviously I didn't know Laura growing up. And Michael and Laura met in Canada.
That's right. Yeah.
So tell us about that.
I was working as like a pastoral intern, like a chaplain.
What's that?
Chaplain is like somebody that is on campus for university students that want to go and speak to whenever they're just maybe questioning things or just looking for a friendly friend. A voice of someone that just really will chat. Friendly friend. So, it was an amazing experience. It was a place called Confederation College.
Yeah, and I can see you being really good at that because you're very like, even on your street, there's people that I know that live in your street, and then I was like, I'm speaking to Michael, and they're like, he is the nicest guy ever. So it's like you helping people on the street and all, and I'm like, he's so American.
That is. I mean, literally people on my street are like, hey, do you have a leaf blower or whatever?
But and to be saying this, like, it's so American. Not all Americans are nice. Yeah. Let's be honest. Michael is just a really, really nice, and a really nice American. But so you were a chaplain?
Yeah, it was like an internship program. I had finished university in the States and went through some relationship stuff and thought I need to just get out of the country and use that as an opportunity to look for what I could do next after my undergrad study, and found that there was an internship program in Canada, in Ontario, as the country part, in a small little town called Thunder Bay.
Right.
And it's
sounds class.
yeah, it was. I mean, they love outdoor sports. They love the hunting, the winter sports, all of that. And it was like supposed to be a year-long program, and you kind of go and you partner with the local church there. Yeah. And I left Nashville to go there, but there was a guy who left Belfast to do the student ministry program. I did the collegiate level, the college program, and he was leading the student program. And through the relationships that he was having with the students there to plan a trip, like a joint missions trip, because he used to work with Laura, he got a couple of students that were interested in going to Uganda. And so she was like, well, I should probably come out to Canada to meet the team that they were going to go to Uganda with. Yeah. And so she flew over, and my friend from here was like, hey, I don't have a car. Would you be interested in picking her up at the airport? And I was like, yeah, we Facebook creep. Found out. I was like, I'll go lift her from the airport. Really? And so I was there to greet her at the airport and collected her and took her to my friend's place where she'd be staying at this sort of like ministry house. And, I asked him if he wanted to show her any of the touristy sites and stuff. And he's like, no, I hate the tourist stuff. So I was like, well, I'll show her around the sites and stuff. And we spent that week.
Was that you being nice, or was that you trying to?
That was 2 for 1. two for 1 special. How do we spend more time? I was a sucker for the Irish accent.
So, well, this is what I was about to ask you. So was this your first interaction with a Northern Irish person?
Aside from my colleague, my friend from here.
Yeah. Sorry. So what I'm saying is
a girl.
Yes, female.
Yes. Yeah. First Irish interaction with a girl.
And then did it just spark from there, or did you maybe see something when you were younger, like? Because like before I met Melina, whenever I was younger, I always knew that I was into, foreign people.
Okay.
My attraction was that.
Same.
How they looked, how they spoke, stuff like that. There, I was attracted to that. So like, is that similar with you?
Yeah, I'm attracted to like the another accent that isn't just something you hear all the time, or there's something unique or different.
I also feel like their mannerisms too can be different. And how they like
things that you might find attractive and quirky or different, and then sometimes you just.
It's whenever you get married.
That's when those things.
So you start going,
saying what I'm not saying.
Like whenever me and Melina argue,
like, that's not cute anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Like whenever me and Melina argue, sometimes now it's like at the start of it, it's like, oh, this is sexy and fiery, and now it's like, oh my god, shut up.
it's like I recognize that tone.
Yeah, exactly, and but that's just the way anything is in life. After a while, things. But it's trying to keep that spark going and whatever. And so like, I'm going to go back to my questions and stuff. We've got into the How You Met Laura, which is honestly, I think it's a great story. And what I find great about it is like you guys now live across the street from where Laura sort of grew up. And like how you've come so far from like Nashville to here is amazing. And we're going to touch more on that whenever we get into the other questions. We're going to go back to the basic ones. So
I never answered your other.
You never exactly. We never answered the
intentionally.
Favorite Irish beverage. Have you had? Well, obviously not Irish, but like Iron Brew or like something like that.
I haven't had Iron Brew. Is that an Irish drink?
We're gonna have to get them drinks in here.
Is that the drink that people say they have the next morning after to like?
No, that's Lucozade.
Okay.
Have you had that?
I've had that. I like the orange one.
The orange one?
Yeah. I haven't had the original.
Have you not? Right. Well, the next podcast we're gonna get football special, Iron Brew, and the Lucozade original, and we'll get you to try a couple of them and see what you think.
Sounds good.
And we'll get a couple of maybe McDade's drinks as well.
Yeah.
And tie that on. So you don't really have a favorite drink from here that you've had and like.
I mean, I never drank Guinness before I moved over here.
Right.
And then I always just felt like everyone always says you have to try this when you're here. And that would probably be my preferred pint if I go out.
Yeah. And your favorite alcoholic beverage? Do you like whiskey?
Whiskey and dark rums.
Dark rums, yeah.
Yeah.
And do you have them straight?
No,
you have to mix them?
I mix them. Yeah.
Have you ever had a whiskey ginger ale and lime?
That's my staple.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, that's what I would have. Because I did the whole like Jameson tour. My brother was over down south, and that's they call it their perfect serve. that with ginger ale and a
Well,
lime slice.
whenever I drank, you know, there was obviously whenever I drank, I would have drank anything, but there was times that I really did enjoy a drink, and whenever I did that, I would go out and drink Jameson and ginger or something like that, and that's when I really had my better nights.
Yeah.
Whereas the all other nights it was just vodka, black currant, and water.
Yeah, it was better than Red Bull and
I used to fill the glass full of ice,
right,
and then pour the vodka in. So it'd be
to
like
cover the ice,
halfway up, and then I would pour like the tiniest bit of black currant and water. So I was really just a lot of vodka.
That's
horrible.
That's hardcore.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So favorite food, from obviously back home and from here.
Probably Mexican food.
Yeah, you love Mexican food.
Yeah, there's as a whole. Yeah, and Mexican food I guess is different than here. I feel like over here you've got what would be bujum or guapo.
Well,
it's the closest thing, but it's not like Tex-Mex.
Yeah. No, it's not. It's obviously it's not authentic. And the thing is, it's like here in America, Chinese is going to be different. Like
yeah,
you get that.
Yeah, you
like
don't get really takeaways.
Indian food in America would be different, would they?
Probably also not really like a.
Yeah.
Do they do Indian? Is Indian a takeaway here, or is it more a sit down?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, that culture of like Friday night fish and chips takeaway or Chinese takeaway, not really something that I grew up with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not really a thing though. Would you give fish and chips takeaways in Nashville?
No. Yeah, Captain D's. That was like a restaurant that was
You said that as if I knew that.
Yeah,
Captain D's.
I think they're still going. It was like fish and chips.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, was it good?
It was good.
Yeah, have you had fish and
you had
chips
like
here?
the soy sauce, not soy sauce. What's the vinegar? You're talking Chinese. I'm mixing my
sushi.
I'm, highly offensive here.
A bit of sushi with your fish and chips, a bit of soy and wasabi.
Yeah. No, it was nice.
Do you like sushi?
I do like sushi. Yeah.
Sushi.
Whenever I travel, that's usually what I try to get when I'm out and about. Because
have you been to Umi here?
I have. Yeah, that's like a fancy sushi. Yeah, it's very tasty. They do like a DJ night and stuff. It looks good fun, but you know.
I could see
small
you
children
whiskey's dancing,
just having a good time.
I once asked Michael what was he like when he was drunk, and he was like, "I just dance all night, man."
Just dance drunk. When I've had a few too many.
Sorry, maybe you've had a few too many. All right, Michael. Sorry.
Yes, no, I do enjoy dancing.
Yeah, but sure, why not? Exactly. So yeah, your favorite food all over Mexican food, then? Yeah.
Yeah, there's a place back in Nashville or outside Nashville, Franklin specifically, where I grew up, about 20 minutes south of Nashville, and it's called Ponchos. So I don't know if any of my friends from back home are watching this, but shout out to Ponchos.
Yeah.
Best queso dip anywhere to be found.
Queso.
Yeah.
So what's queso? Is that
it's like
cheese? Is it?
It's like it must be. Yeah, my sister has tried many times to recreate this dip, but it's like a secret sauce or something. But it's just like a bit of milk, a bit of some cheese and something else, and it's like top. A nice runny. Yeah. Chili's has a good. That's like if you're looking for a chain version of Tex-Mex food that has great like frozen margaritas and stuff. The best part of it is the whole chips and dips. You don't have that concept here where you just get unlimited basket of tortilla chips and then you have the salsa and the queso and that's like you.
Well, funny enough, you can go to the Bowling Alley Cinema and they do.
I know what, chips and salsa?
Chips, salsa, and the runny cheese.
Is it an orange cheese or a white cheese?
It's an orange cheese. It's really good though.
Yeah.
Honestly, it is.
Okay. Well,
have you not had it?
No, because that's what I find over here as well. When you get like a nacho starter, it's like they've just squirted some lines of that orange.
No, this is actual cheese that like they pull out, and it's like
what you get at a movie theater. Like the movie theaters usually have like the little basket of chips with the little.
No, this comes in like a
sauce.
big thing, and they put the chips in, flavored chips. And
why are they flavored? What do you mean flavored?
There's like a seasoning on them.
Okay.
And then they're really good, trust me. And I wouldn't say that. Like, and there's like a wee thing of salsa, which is a wee bit spicy.
Okay.
And then they've got a cheese one.
Right.
It's really good. We'll try it someday. I'll probably bring it over and we'll try it in the podcast.
Try that as well.
Okay. But yeah, so what I was going to say was, is Poncho still going?
Yeah, they've got a few shops. They've expanded since, but whenever I go home, that's usually where my family and I go for lunch or dinner.
When we're in Nashville, which we will be, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
We're going to go there. We could do a podcast there.
We should. I mean, that literally the staff and the team that runs it are the same ones that were there 20 years ago.
That's amazing. I love
when I saw the guy,
like that,
he was like still going strong. Like, it's amazing.
I love stuff like that. Do you ever watch Gordon Ramsay's when he goes away? I don't know.
Kitchen Nightmare?
I think it's Kitchen. No, is it called Kitchen Nightmares?
Is that where he flips the kitchens into high performing businesses?
I love watching like the ones that do well. You know, and especially the American ones. That I think the English ones can be
Does he do English? I feel like he's always just picking on the.
The English ones are better because they're not as dramatized as the American TV.
Yeah, America's falling apart. When it
But
comes to
he's just fucking very blunt, man. He's just like, where's the fucking lab sauce? Fuck me. He's brilliant. Like, but there's no when he does all that, there's no drama music. It's just like him just giving it straight to a guy.
Yeah.
There's one time where he falls out with a guy about how to cook a mussel.
Right.
And it's fucking.
Is this over here or in the States?
This is in England.
Okay.
It's just funny, man. It's great. And I think Gordon Ramsay's hilarious. You like Gordon Ramsay?
I do. Yeah. I was a big fan of him when he did the competition cooking show originally. That was like kind of what made his mark in the States.
Hell's Kitchen?
Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah.
Where he'd be in the limo, like dressed up as one of the characters, and they'd all be
Yeah,
slacking off, and then he like reveals his face at the end.
They'd be like, I'll not bow down to him and all.
Yeah.
I've seen it. He loves doing that dress up thing, you know.
Yeah.
He's done it a couple of times. It's great. So man, favorite color? Now this is I find interesting because I've seen you wear many. Like today we're in sort of like pinky green.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting a film today. I should have thought. should have thought more about.
That's great,
this.
man.
Yeah. Probably like a purple. I think it's my dad's favorite color too.
Yeah, purple, like a sort of darky purple.
Yeah.
So what about that? That's more of a pink, isn't it? That gun.
It's like a pink color.
Yeah.
I'm more like purple. Yeah,
Yeah.
purple, between purple and black. Not like the emo gothic black, but just like in that shade
He
category.
did have an emo gothic stage, didn't he?
Yeah, I'm true emo at heart.
Are you?
Yeah.
Like pure scream.
Screamo is big fan of that still.
I remember you were saying you loved that.
Yeah.
Did
Just
you
so
did
raw
you have the
emotion.
hair?
I did.
Did you
Yeah,
really?
maybe I'll throw up a couple
Get
photos.
a couple of pictures of that. Man.
Yeah. Well, you had like the fringe, and then you have to straighten it in high school and stuff,
Yeah.
and straighten
Well, I
it.
don't
So
know.
it's-
I'm saying I don't know. I did straighten my hair,
right?
but I don't like I straightened it. There's a friend of mine, Dean Smith, and me and Dean used to like spend ages on our hair before we went out, like an unnecessary amount.
Right.
Nobody really give a fuck.
what age?
About 15, 16.
Okay, yeah,
probably.
like high school
maybe,
age.
Maybe a bit younger. But we would spend age, and we'd be both on the mirror, and he'd be pushing me out of the way, and I'd be pushing him out of the way, and we'd be getting. He's gonna be raging. I'm gonna probably bring this up, but fuck it, Dean. And like Dax wax, we used to get Dax wax, man. And if you put too much Dax wax on, you were fucked.
Is this like a paste?
It's wax,
Like real wax?
wax on your hair, and if you put too much on, like it would just look ridiculous.
Like greasy or?
Like you've been drowned in oil. I swear to God, it was awful.
Yeah, it wasn't so much hair products. It was more just the straightening of the
Yeah.
hair, and then having it like off to the side, the swoop and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was good.
Especially when it-
Did the hair coloring stuff as well, and would have had like the red
Purple?
highlight.
Oh,
no,
you
no
did it?
purple. Yeah. But and like the girl jeans because you needed to have tighter jeans for the scene.
ripped and all.
Ripped, at
Like
times.
stuck on these.
Scene, yeah. Which now that's like a thing over like
Yeah, it is.
jeggings or something.
It's
more
super
for
skinny. I
girls.
think they
Super
call it.
skinny. Yeah.
I've never put a pair on, ever.
Here, got the legs
And
for
all
them.
my legs are too big.
Just rip
now,
through and
now that
the
I've lost a
thigh,
bit more
the
weight in my
hamstring.
legs. Funny enough, I seen a friend of mine yesterday who used to call me fat legs,
Really?
and he was like, "Good legs, now, Jordy." I just wear shorts 24/7.
Yeah.
But yeah, happy days, man. So nice purpley black. Do you know what Pringles are?
Yeah, I do like Pringles.
Yeah, what's your? They have Pringles in the States. They're different.
Yeah, that's the kind of like a go-to snack you see at like football games
Are
or
they
like.
different name? Or are they Pringles?
No, they are Pringles.
Right, okay,
Because
I
I do
didn't know
realize there's a lot of like just slightly different variations of the same brands over here.
Yeah, sour cream and chive. Is that one over there, American?
It's not. It's sour cream and onion.
Right.
So they put chive as like a replacement name on a lot of the packets of crisps over here.
Well, I've had this out with someone. I was at a party recently, and I was like, "Oh, do you want a Pringle packet of Pringles?" And I was like, "I'll have a sour cream and chive," and they were like, "What do you mean sour cream and chive?" And I was
Were
like,
they American?
"No, I think they were from here." And I was like, "Sour cream and onion," and I was like,
But the packet over here, the container is called sour cream and chive.
maybe that's I don't know.
But that's the flavor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just original or the barbecue.
Yeah, like barbecue. I love a sour cream and chive, man. I think when you pop a Pringle, it's really addictive.
Yeah, I never heard the word Moorish until I met my wife, and then that's
Moorish,
Moorish. She said that's like a term from here.
is it?
Oh. No, apparently not. Where it's just like it's so good, you want more and more and more.
I don't think I've ever said that, like, but
Really? Moorish?
uh,
No. Throwing me
do
under
you
the
think
bus
it was
here.
a term from here?
I'm pretty sure it is. I've heard
Yeah.
other people say it.
So what's your favorite crisp?
Smoky bacon.
Yeah,
Yeah, not something you get. Well, you can't get that in the States.
the smoky bacon potatoes,
Yeah, you can't get those, and you can't get the
bacon fries.
no. Well, yeah, I don't think you can get those either. But the chicken, the rotisserie chicken crisp.
Aye, I don't like them.
Do you not? It tastes like a piece of chicken.
It is good, but after a while, I couldn't eat a full packet. Too salty or something.
Yeah.
I know it says that, like, I love bacon fries, but for some reason I gotta eat loads of bacon fries. Whereas with potato
They have
ones,
those at pubs and things.
love them. Love bacon
Yeah.
fries. Have you ever had scampi fries?
No, but that's like a fish, isn't it?
Yeah, that's good, man. No,
No.
you don't like fish?
I like fish, but not scampi.
But no, they taste good.
Okay.
Trust me. We'll get them in too.
Yeah,
We're
just
just
have
we're just gonna have loads of grub, right,
just
Michael?
so we snack.
Michael, try that.
You know, all you can hear is
not one word in the whole podcast. Me just fucking firing food at you. So yeah, you've never had a scampi fry. That's interesting. We're gonna have to sort that out too.
But it's not a fry like we think fries. It's just a
Well,
crisp.
it's a crisp, yeah. Whereas you guys call
Chips.
and then
And you
we
call chips here French. We call
fries.
chips French fries.
Yeah,
Yeah. But McDonald's here still calls them French fries, and you guys are willing to say,
I never ever once said French fries at McDonald's.
really?
Never. I always say chips.
You guys also call things like red sauce and brown sauce when it's ketchup.
No, it's not. It's red sauce.
So generic.
What all red sauces are?
Salsa.
Call it salsa.
Yeah, true.
Brown sauce? Have you ever had HP brown sauce?
Not till I came over here. The closest thing I can relate it to is like Arby's. They have a Arby's sauce, and that would be the closest flavor to
It's like
brown sauce.
Worcestershire sauce. That's really what it is, isn't it? It's like
where here the brown sauce.
it's similar tastes. I think that's where it's
That's
come.
true. I've started to make a cottage pie, and when I don't have Worcestershire sauce, I add
brown in
the
it.
brown instead.
Oh, you put a bit of Worcestershire in it. That's nice, man. I like that.
I do a lot of it now.
You do enjoy your cooking?
I do. With 2 kids that are also meat eaters. If there's
Yeah.
any meat option that needs to be made, it's usually I
Comes to
take that
you.
on.
Because Laura she probably can't doesn't like handling the meat.
Yeah, if it's breaded or something, she's great at throwing that stuff together. But if
Yeah.
it's a matter of like raw meat,
Yeah.
it puts her off.
Yeah. No, I get that completely. I do. And what's your favorite meal to cook?
Favorite meal to cook? Ooh, that's a good one. I mean, we usually have.
I know it. Chicken and broccoli pasta.
Why? Because you've heard us talking about that's what we're having for dinner. So
Michael, what are you making for dinner tonight? Chicken broccoli pasta, man. Michael, what are you making for dinner tonight?
that's a one-pot dish, and like that's the easiest thing where you just put it all in one pot,
Kids are
one
sick
dish.
of broccoli.
They're asking for it. No, I like making pancakes. I've gotten quite good at that.
Man,
Didn't you have a pancake at ours when you were on your way out? You
yeah,
were going
she
somewhere.
did make them. That's right.
Yeah,
But I need to try it with the syrup and all.
Yeah,
and
the
try it. But it
maple
was really
syrup.
nice, actually.
Yeah.
You're right. You're
Getting
right.
better and better at those.
I would like to try them warm, but I think I got to the party late.
You came. Yeah, you were just dropping by after we.
I was dropping by. I tried to make pancakes recently, and I was just making them too big.
Right. Okay. What are you using? Regular flour or self-raising flour?
I made regular flour, baking soda, whatever it was,
Yeah.
and then what I did was I got raspberries and I blended them, stuck that on, and then I got white chocolate and put that on. So, but whenever
Sounds like a lot.
it was a lot, but I literally ate them for like 2 days straight, and then I looked at myself, and then the weekend I was bloated, and like I've always known I've had a gluten intolerance, but I've just ignored it. And
Okay.
then recently, but like what happens is my back starts to seize up and my gut starts to hurt and like really, really messes me up. So I've had to cut all the gluten out. And within a week,
That's bread, is it?
anything with gluten. So to see when I was using soy sauce, sometimes I would cook and I would use that, and then I could feel like pain in my back and stuff.
Right.
So whenever I cut all that out, within a week, everything the inflammation went down.
Yeah.
And like I was even saying to Moina, I was like, look at the difference for me from like, and she was like, it's madness. Just because my whole torso just expands, blows up.
Right.
And it's odd, man. Because like I would be sitting and I would feel like, see if I would eat, sometimes my belly would go like the whole way out to here.
Just proper.
Just complete inflammation of the gut and intestines and stuff. So I had to completely cut that out. But eating them pancakes, I was eating them constantly, and I mean it just
Took a toll.
Took a toll. But I'd love to try your pancakes.
Yeah.
I'd love you maybe even show me how to make them.
Yeah, I've got a good recipe. That's a BBC Good Foods recipe on fluffy
Oh.
American pancakes. and it
Can't go wrong.
sticks to its word, true to its word.
Cannot
Yeah,
go
check that
wrong.
out. It's good.
So yeah, music journey.
Yeah.
You grew up in Nashville.
Yeah, born in Savannah, Georgia.
Yeah. Oh right. Okay.
Yeah, we were Forrest Gump was filmed.
Yeah.
And then lived there till I was age 11.
Yeah.
And you can choose your own instrument when you are in school programs there,
Right.
because they have like a whole band ensemble thing. And I chose the alto saxophone.
Right.
And so
You
that
wanted to
was
be Lisa Simpson.
Apparently so. That was the instrument I chose, and you choose it at age 11. So I chose alto saxophone, and then we moved halfway through that time of school. And when we moved to we moved to Tennessee. You don't actually choose your instrument until about the 6th grade, 6th or 7th grade, so another year or two after. And I thought, well, if I have to do this all over again, my dad's a drummer. Maybe it just makes sense to choose drums because he could help me out. And so I chose drums at that point and went into the percussion section of band, and then did drums all through high school.
Can you still play the saxophone?
No. I think the first song I learned was The Lion King, the In the Jungle one, but that was it's like just back and forth on like three main notes. I couldn't whistle. I know. Is that what that was?
Trying to get it out.
Yeah, you have to. But no, just gave the saxophone back and stuck with drums ever since, and picked up a few other things along the way that kind of you need to know when there's no
djembe.
Djembe, yeah. You still haven't heard this djembe yet.
Michael, me and Michael were playing our first gig. We played our first gig together in the Edmonton Hotel, and it was like a real chilled cajon, and it was nice. And then I was like, right, man, we're going to play the Thirsty Goat. And he was like, yeah, I'll bring the djembe. And I was like, what? You'll bring the what? And he was like, the djembe, I'll bring the djembe, it'll be fine. I can go out in the crowd with it and all. And I was like, Michael, you have not got this place. And he was like, I was like, you need a full kit. And you were like, I don't need a full kit. And I was like, Michael, you're going to need a full kit. Michael, did you need a full kit?
Definitely. I haven't played that hard or loud since I lived over here.
Exactly, man. And it was like, I remember looking at you in the first gig, and you were like so adrenaline rushed. You were like, yeah, man. You were loving it, weren't you?
Yeah, that was great. It was nice to actually be able to play through the drums like back in the day type thing. And the djembe would have not sufficed.
Would have not. No. I don't even know what the djembe is, but I'm telling you, it wouldn't have worked.
Yep.
But yeah, so touching on that there, obviously you coming over here to Ireland, Nashville, Ireland, two different really places for music. What do you find the biggest difference between, Nashville music and obviously playing with me, saying the Thirsty Goat? And you know yourself, it's very upbeat. It's a lot of sort of country drum beats, sort of more 4/4 times and stuff. What do you find the massive difference between working in Nashville and working sort of here with likes of myself and other artists, because you've played with others like Jason Clark and stuff?
Yeah, that's the interesting thing about being a drummer is your style has to maybe adjust to whatever scene you're playing. If you're not like the front man who has the full control direction of what people want, you have to go with the flow, so to speak. And it's interesting because in Belfast maybe they call themselves the sister city of Nashville. They do a writer's week. Both they take turns sending people from Belfast to Nashville. Nashville sends musicians to Belfast, and they have a big connection there on the music side. But I have found that, strangely or funny enough, country is a really big influence in Northern Ireland. I would never thought that.
Yeah.
So the shuffles is sort of like that stuff. Like people love that.
Yeah.
The songs we do, like the Jolene or the Beyonce one, like
Texas Hold'em.
Texas Hold'em one. Yeah,
that's a great start.
Goes well. It's a great way to get people on the floor.
It sets the tone, though.
Yeah.
I think your first song has to. Like, if you start off with a song that doesn't set the tone.
That's true. Everyone's just straight to the dance floor at that.
Oh, big time.
That and Taylor Swift.
Yeah, you love it. But everyone loves T Swift.
Everybody, every request from the crowd is always T Swift.
And every time you always look at me,
yes.
We need to learn more.
Yeah, he's always like, what song should we do next? I'm like, T Swift.
T Swift. We need to learn more T Swizzle. It's fun enough you're saying that. So is there like a songwriting thing in Belfast? I should maybe look into that.
You should, yeah. It's every year. They do they bring one weekend and they do the sort of same styles that Nashville has, like writers in the round. I think you mentioned might be doing something similar up here, but it's where you get like 3 or 4 songwriters and they each do one song and they rotate and they just share the story behind the song, and it's like an intimate thing that happens. The Bluebird Cafe in Nashville is really known for doing a lot of that. It's one of the hot spots.
And do they send people into Nashville?
They also, then musicians from here go to Nashville, and there's like a whole thing that happens there. I have
heard about this. I think there was a guy from Derry, Owen O'Callaghan, I think maybe he was talking about doing that one time with Ryan McMullen, I think.
Oh, right. Yeah, he might have gone. I know Emma Horn went to Nashville.
I'd love to get involved in that. Well, we'll see what happens. There's a lot of music to be released, and I think, what's mad about the direction that I'm taking Jordan O'Keefe, the musician, down now is, obviously, I've grown up in here and country's been a thing. Everyone always said to me, you should really look into the country scene. I was like, I don't want to do that. But I was always thinking of like the Jimmy Buckley and like all that sort of, that sort of, really country.
Like really, yeah.
Yeah, like
there's so many different versions of country.
And that's just not me. I know that's just not me. But then obviously recently, with probably your influence of being here and like looking at different sounds and stuff, we're sort of gone down that sort of American country-ish route. And I love it, man. I think it's, and the thing is, I don't feel like I'm pretending anymore. Do you know what I mean? I just feel like I'm just letting it flow.
Yeah, you're not having to put on a...
No, well, don't get me wrong. A lot of people probably say I'm probably changing twang on the accent, but it's generally how I would sing out when I'm out live.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's, and it's something, I can change the way I sing on my accent, but sometimes whenever I feel like, sometimes I'll just sing a song and that's just the way it is. But I'm really enjoying it, and that's probably under the influences of yourself too, you know.
Unbeknownst.
And but also even out playing live. I think we're getting, because you do play a lot of country songs.
Yeah, and they
love
we
it.
see that resonating with most of the people there that are at the clubs or the bars, whatever.
Yeah, so no, that's great, man. So you went to Berklee School of Music, which is absolutely legendary.
Yeah, it really carries a lot of weight, I guess, or it's really well known in the music industry. Yeah. Definitely, there's a few music schools in the U.S. when you think of where to go, where you're going to spend your time. There's Berklee College of Music in Boston, then you think Juilliard, but maybe that's more like the classical side of things. Berklee does have a tie to jazz influence, and there's other schools on the East Coast. And in Nashville, they've got Belmont University. That's where kind of, if you want to work closely in the Nashville music scene, then that's sort of the engine to get into there. And then, I mean, they've always said with Berklee, it's like, if anything, the name would open the audition, but it still falls down to you to do the audition and to show that you are the right person for the part. But the best part about Berklee was, or the most humbling, there's two stories of this. The best part is you go there and you play with some of the best of the best. Yeah. Like everyone that's come from around the world or the United States are phenomenal musicians. Mm-hmm. The humbling part is you think you're the best of the best because you go there, and then you quickly find out that if everyone is the best of the best, clearly you can't be the best.
Exactly.
And so that was a real wake-up experience for myself. But it also kind of challenges you to step up your game and to...
When you say humble and experience, obviously, whenever you were going in there, did you feel like I am the best of the best?
Yeah, it's sort of typical, arrogant, high school kid.
What age were you then?
I would have been 18.
Yeah, man, at 18, we're all sort of the same. I've been there.
Yeah, so you just think that you know everything, you got nothing else to learn, and you know you've had your tour offers or your endorsements or whatever, but then you find out others are way farther ahead. And this was like before the days of YouTube and social media, and whether it's a good thing or not, the influencer side of things, it was an interesting experience to go into that, but you make friends quickly and you find your circle, and that's good.
How did you find that it sort of influenced your, you know, obviously you were coming from Nashville, going to Berklee, is in Boston.
Boston, yeah.
Yeah, so like, and what did you say it was renowned for jazz?
Yeah, the guy who started the school, Lee Burke, he was very much in the jazz scene, and there's a lot of influence there, and there's not really, I mean, to try to commercialize jazz these days, it's tough because people would maybe say it's like a dying form, and you have to be like a diehard person who loves jazz and live and breathe that. And so there's a lot of requirements as a musician to still have to be familiar with jazz and styles and everything. And when you go into school, we didn't have any sports teams. We didn't have any sports programs. Yeah. We had no workout facilities because they really just thought the music school was like, oh, you guys love music, you're just going to want to have practice rooms. Yeah. And so they partnered with other schools in the area. If you want to go join their sports teams, you could go audition for their, not audition, try out, wrong word. No, I went and joined one of the marching bands. We had no sports teams. So did that for a bit, but yeah, they really just think your focus is like 8 hours a day practicing in a practice room. But it was an interesting thing because as a drummer, most drummers aren't like savvy to pitch, like being able to no pitch or no chord structure and like writing and composing and all of that. But you have to learn that if you want to get through
I can see that whenever I'm working with you, like you have a great touch with certain things, and you know what you're at. You know, where some guys are just drummers and they're just drums and that's it. Yeah. Whereas you're actually a whole of music, which is great sometimes, because whenever I'm playing a new song or I'm playing a bit of production, you'll be like, oh, I don't know, and it's great to have that input. You know, and I know it's coming from a place of knowledge. You know what I mean? Where it's not just going, I just think
it's just me selfishly being like, put that there.
Yeah, no, exactly. Which is great. You know, so obviously going to Berklee just expanded you as a complete, not even just a drummer, but as a complete musician. You know, in a sense, you know, because and it just expanded you in a great way. Did you enjoy it, or?
I really did. I mean, it was tough. I think by the second year I was that's the thing about maybe going to school for something that you really enjoy is that you start to hate it.
Yeah.
Because like it takes the fun out of it. When
It
you
does,
get,
yeah.
You get very methodical or very scientific about it, and then it's all of a sudden like what you enjoyed doing for fun or what you thought you were good at, you're not being graded on, evaluated on, and critiqued on.
Someone doesn't go right, you're like, fuck.
Yeah, and so like your first day when you get there, you have to go audition for your like number rating, and the number rating is between 1 and 8. And where do you fall, 8 being the greatest, on that based off of how good or bad you are determines what other musicians they put you with for your first year.
Yeah.
So everyone's at the same level, but they have to grade you so that you know what ensembles they put you in. Because you have to go like to a funk ensemble, a pop ensemble, an Afro-Cuban ensemble. You have to go through all these different bands that you play in, but you have to be with other musicians that are at the same level. And so that is also another humbling thing. I didn't go in as a 1 or anything.
What did you get?
A 4. So I was right in the middle.
Is that out of 10?
Out of 8.
Out of 8?
So I was halfway. But then you can you audition
that
every
is
year.
Very humble, by the way.
Yeah.
Because you're going to think, I'm an 8.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I'd be the same.
You just think everyone thinks they are. Again, thinks an 8 and stuff. But
so the guys and girls that were 8s, were they the ego even boosted even more, was it?
Yeah. Because then there's special bands just for them that get to play in like the main performance halls that are like the representation of the school. They do all the events.
I can just picture it.
So like they're like the gods of the school or whatever,
I know.
And they know it because musicians can be very egotistical.
Yeah. Oh, really?
No, yeah. So just it was a learning experience there, but again, every year you get the opportunity to try out
expanding.
Again,
Progressing,
raise your level if you want, and you can see and you can track that as well. But it does help because they have to know where you rank and where you go into the different classes of music and stuff. But it was great for that. The opportunities that came out of it were fantastic as far as some of the musicians I met and played with were some of the best, as I said, back at that time. And it's great to still see what they're doing on social media now and how they're getting on. And everyone, for the most part, is still doing something musically related. I mean, although I work sort of corporate America and do marketing stuff, it's nice to be able to always have a fallback. But by the second year, I was like, Dad, I'm coming home because, you know, there's offers to go on the road and tour with bands and do that sort of stuff. And he's like, well, if those offers are there now, they will be there after, you know, just finish the degree.
Well, this is what I'm going to get to now. So we're going to get a bit deeper into these questions.
Yeah, right.
So obviously, you know, I don't know, a lot of parents, like I know my mom and dad were a bit against me doing music whenever I was younger because they wanted me to be into something a bit more, like you say, corporate world, having a real job is what they would say.
Yeah.
How was your mom and dad whenever you had explained to them that music was the thing you wanted to do? And because obviously your dad's a drummer, so it might have been a bit easier, was it?
Yeah, because both my mom's an organist.
Right.
So
music's in the family.
Music's in the family, yeah. And my dad's a drummer, and my sister played clarinet in high school band.
The Von Trapp's just.
That's us. And then my brother, I think he chose trombone or something.
Right.
We each chose an instrument. I think they could see that maybe music was where I was wanting to go. I kind of always knew from like freshman year, 9th grade, age 15 or so, that I wanted to do music after school or like after high school. Not really thinking I'd go to school for it, like an undergrad degree for it, but wanted to do music full time. And so I made that decision every year. Usually in high school, when like drumline is a big thing. It's like if you're gonna do band or marching band, then the drumline's like the cool thing. Yeah. You know, it's not the woodwind section or the horn section or the you know, whatever. It's like, you play drums, like drums are like the cool thing. Yeah, exactly. So I was like, well, I'll do that. And then again, there's like another hierarchy system within drumline, which is if you're on the snare line, then like that's like the best. And then you've got the tenor line, and then the bass drum line, and then the pit, which is known as the front ensemble, the people that are at the front that play like marimbas and xylophones, auxiliary percussion. That's sort of the tiering system of popularity or coolness within the band. So freshman year, everyone always tries to audition for the snare line, but that's usually left for the seniors and juniors, those that have more experience and they've already been there. Yeah. So I made the bass drum line the first year, and I had a bass drum instructor. He came up with a nickname for me, which was quite embarrassing because I was a bit of a heavy set kid my first year of high school. Pork chop.
So, that's a fucking dig there, isn't it?
Yeah. So we'd be on the football field and be like, come
on,
pork chop.
If you ever fuck up on the drums.
Yeah, if you call me pork chop, I'm gonna
you'll fucking smack this thing. Hey, pork chop.
I know he's still a friend request on Facebook.
I would say that. Fuck him.
So I had to deal with that for the first year, and then second year I wanted to audition for snare because again, it's like, elevate your standing. But I thought if I really wanted to do music and take it seriously, I should probably go to the front ensemble, which was like no one does that. No one leaves the drum line and goes to stand at the front to play marimba. But I thought that's probably I didn't want to just be a drummer who only hit things. I wanted to be a drummer that understood chords and scales and things like that.
Yeah, you wanted to progress.
So I made the decision to go into the front ensemble and become a marimba player and use that as an opportunity to learn those things. And then went to snare third year, and then actually as a drum set player, the quad line or the tenors would probably be the better option for a drum set player, because a snare is just one drum that you play everything on, but the quad line or tenor line is 5 to 6 drums that are all in front of you. And it gives you the chance to take what the snare players are doing on one drum and put it across 5 or 6.
Right.
Which as a drum set player, that was like, I should have been doing that all along.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed
that. Just
that.
elevated you again as
well. Which is great. And then in the meantime of doing all that, you're still playing drum set, and you're starting bands because you're in Nashville and it's very competitive, and everybody's mom or dad is in the music industry or knows someone who's in the industry. So you're all trying to think, we're going to get signed at 15 or 16. And so you're playing every band possible and doing every talent show and just trying to do what you can to.
So back to the actual question.
What was the question?
Your mom and dad, how did they?
Oh, jeez.
How did they? How did
they take it?
How did they? Yeah, but like obviously, were they fine with it?
I'd say yes and no.
Yeah.
Because neither of them had finished college or university, so there was a real sort of desire to see their kids do that.
Yeah.
My sister was 3 years older than me, and she had left for university, and kind of maybe on the guidance of you've got to go to school. This is just the American way. It's like high school, college, marriage, whatever.
Marriage, kids,
and then life. And she wasn't really enjoying what she was going to study, and so she also kind of changed paths to go into the culinary world, which is a bit more of a creative approach and food. It was actually to be a pastry chef.
She makes a great brownie.
She makes a great brownie, especially living in Colorado.
Yeah.
The brownies are different there, and very, very tasty. But so she went that route. So now it's kind of like, okay, now I'm the middle child. The second thing has to fall on me to go to school, but and try to finish. So I always had that sort of a pressure or expectation that you'd have to, if you go to school, you need to finish. You have to be the one that sees it through. And that was always kind of underlying that way. But they did support it in the sense that they helped me to get through the schools, to go through that whole process, to audition, to help fund it. Because school in America is not cheap.
That's right, it's not funded.
No, it's not. It's very expensive, especially if you go to like a state school versus an out-of-state school. State schools, there's usually grants and funds.
Roughly?
Yeah, so it depends. If you're like going to a state school, like a college, let's call it University of Tennessee, or Middle Tennessee State University, those schools per semester you're looking at maybe $3,600 to maybe $7,000, a year. And that's just the tuition. That's not including your housing cost and your food, your books, all that sort of stuff. It adds up. And then if you're
So you're talking about over 10 grand, maybe.
Yeah. So I mean, and so you hope that
for your housing, and probably a lot more, would it not?
Yeah, it really depends on whether you do an apartment or you do the food halls and stuff like that. And then if you go into like an out-of-state school or like a private college, which was what Berklee would have been classified as, I mean that tuition then jumps to about $40,000 a year.
Wow.
And then it's all schools are 4-year programs, and then you have to do your tuition, your housing on top of that. And so it really adds up.
No wonder you moved here.
Yeah, so it gets very expensive very quickly, and that's why so much of it has to come down to scholarships or loans or funding programs to help make that dream a reality. And so that's, thankfully I was in a position where my family was able to support a lot of that to help bring that to life, and thankfully so, because otherwise the dream of college nowadays is like, is it really needed, or is it worth it to go into that?
I completely agree with you. Even for a music sense, although you've probably learned a lot, I know if I had went and did music at college and stuff like that, I probably would have been a lot more advanced at this age. But I've enjoyed the journey too as well. You know what I mean? But I do agree with you. I think you can go out there, without spending the big bucks, and learn along the way. Like, you've YouTube now, which is huge.
Everything. I'm using it to this day.
Anything I need to learn, I'm on there. Like, and that's like I remember whenever I was younger, I used to ask someone like questions all the time. It was like, Google it, man, just Google it, or YouTube it. And That's what, but back then YouTube wasn't as big as a thing as it is
Yeah.
now. Like there's literally everything on there. So no, what I was going to say then was, obviously you'd left college, you joined a band. Was that Revival?
What's the so before that was a really big struggle for me to go to Berklee right after high school because I was in a band that was doing really well. And
what was it? What was the band's name?
so we called ourselves Avondale.
Avondale
Was the name of
that's
of
a
the
nice
band
name
name.
actually.
And then that singer in the group, they then changed their name to a band called Framing Hanley.
Right.
And so Nixon, who fronts that, they went off and they've done really well since. They're kind of like alternative radio, rock, heavier stuff. And so it was always tough to see that I had left that to go to school, and then all of a sudden they're on the road, and YouTube was big now. They did a cover of the Lil Wayne's Lollipop song, but did it as like a rock song, and it was like millions of views on YouTube, and watching their success and like that. And I'm like, oh, I'm here to learn about, is this pitch to this pitch a major or minor?
That's hard, man.
That's hard to watch from the outside.
And that's another question I wanted to ask. It was like, obviously, you live here now, and you work in the corporate world. Do you sort of feel like you failed, in a sense of music, because you haven't done that?
That I haven't gone to that level of success, or
do you feel like Berklee and all the things in the past was like, obviously now that we're working together, I honestly do believe we will reach a great stage, because I just believe in that. But before all that, you're working up there, in the house, and you're flat out in the corporate world. Music's not like your drum kit laying boxes.
Yeah.
Before it was brought down here, and like you sitting sort of thinking, I've wasted so much time.
Just get it all in there.
I told you we were getting deep, man.
Yeah, that's always been the challenge, because that was one band that was before
university. By the way, if you
university.
don't want to answer this, don't feel like you have
No, it's fine. I'll talk about it. That was the band before I left for school.
Yeah.
And then there was opportunities when I was in school to go on the road with other bands, and I had to say no to them because I was in school, and they had a bit more an aggressive tour schedule. So I had to say no to that. And then after school finished.
Do you regret saying no to that?
Probably.
Yeah.
If I'm honest with myself, yeah, because then I thought, well, you always feel like if not now, then when?
Yeah.
And especially in the music industry, you feel like if there's an opportunity, you need to take it there, and then when it's being presented to you.
Yeah.
And while it's all well and good to say like there will always be other opportunities, yes, there will, but they're going to be harder by the time you get to that point. Like now, if I watch a YouTube video, there's like an 11-year-old kid, like amazing on the drum set. Like, yes, I've got maybe years of experience in different environments, but to be able to play at the level that that kid is playing on YouTube, it's like, what the heck? Now it would take years of time just to catch up to that, playing wise. So, and because of social media, people are so much more accessible and visible to show their talent and stuff. So unless you are living and breathing the industry and you're in it every day, and because it does at the end of the day still come down to relationships and who you know, then that makes it a bit of a challenge to look back and say, well, was I not in it soon enough, or was I not making the right decisions and things at the time? Because even when I was in my band, that was the one that was under Sony's label, Revive, a bunch of Revive, yeah. They're from Australia, amazing guys. That was a YouTube audition process to join that band. Right. So they were losing their drummer, and they were like, well, we need to find a new drummer. Let's just put it out to YouTube. And then, whoever sends us these videos.
You're just saying there about the 11-year-old kid doing how good he is.
Exactly, because there were a lot of submissions for that.
Exactly.
And again, like I didn't even know about the opportunity, because I was in Canada at the time working, and I had a friend who called me to say she was in Nashville, and she heard on the radio that Revive was losing their drummer, and they were going to be looking for a new drummer. And she felt the Lord speak to her and say, you need to tell Michael about this, because he's going to be the drummer for this band. It's class. And so she reached out to me, and I was like, in Canada, like, whatever. Like, those days are done and gone. I'm here as a college minister.
Was that it? Were you done at that stage?
Well, I was like, I'd gone into the ministry.
And did you, there must have been a lot of anger then, was there?
Well, there's all sorts of reasons for being mad of leaving the country. For me, it was like a broken relationship where I'd had a fiance, and she changed her mind, and those
I never knew.
I know,
don't know.
Yeah, because time's passed and hurt tied to it and all that. But that's like one of the main drivers for getting out of the U.S.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so then we were going to do music together and all those sort of things. And so I was like, F music.
Yeah,
but I was still very much
100%. Like I've been there, man.
Yeah, it ties to it, the emotion.
The many times I've had where I've been like, I just fucking don't want to look at. Obviously, when I lost the record deal and came home, like I went back and worked in my dad's office. I was like, I don't even want to see music. I don't want to talk about it. And I get that completely. And you get angry with it, and it takes a bit of time to heal and get back. And that's why I honestly believe us coming together. It's just came at such a right time. And you know, we're working through it together. And I was going to say, you know, obviously it's hard to look back sometimes and have regrets. And you know, but I believe that everything that didn't work out in the past has led to here.
Yeah,
and
agreed.
I honestly believe it. Like there's no pressure on what we're doing. You know what I mean?
I think the only pressure there is what we put on ourselves.
Yeah, 100%. 100%, man. And you know, like what's great about it is we can still, like, you can still get on with your everyday life. And you know,
I would never end up where I am today with my wife and my kids and our friendship and the opportunities that are coming through this if I hadn't made those decisions. Exactly. Whether made for me or made by myself back then. And you have to look at it as that. Otherwise, you just dwell.
I look back and I'm like, fuck, I regret that I didn't do this or I didn't do that or did that right. But I really believe that we're here now. And like, I played you some of the new songs that are going to be coming, and I'm like, I know they're good because you have to
believe in your own stuff. But when you play them for me, as I said, it's like goosebumps and stuff.
Yeah. And I think like it's just going to be interesting to see where we go from here. And man, you're a great talent, and I just learned so much about you listening to you there, and it's great to see how passionate you are about music, you know, and how your knowledge about music is amazing. And you know, it sort of hurt me a bit listening to, like, you know, how you fell in love with it and then back in, and I didn't know about the fiance before, and but then if that never happened, you wouldn't have met Laura and you wouldn't be here with the two beautiful kids that you have. And
that's true.
Living across the street from me waking you up at 11 o'clock playing drums on your drum set.
Yeah, well, it's here.
Sometimes when I play it, I just imagine Michael being like, "Fuck's sake, he's playing them." And then I get fucking drum heads again.
We're talking about YouTube. Like, you know, I'm not afraid to say, like, we wanted to change the heads out on my kick drum. I was like, Flip, it's been that long. Back to YouTube. Like, what's the best drum head?
Exactly. But it's like whenever I came back in here to start producing again, I was like, I don't know what I'm at. I had to relearn everything again. And that's, if you step away for such a long period of time, you know, the brain doesn't forget, but just needs a wee bit of rewiring at some stage. But no, man, I really do believe that we're going to do something special together, and we'll be playing all around the world, especially in Nashville. And we'll show everybody,
visit the homeland,
how good you are, Michael.
Oh, cheers,
and how good we are. And no, because sometimes I do think about that. Sometimes I do sit more. I'm thinking, does Michael hurt because I know what it's like sometimes for me. Because sometimes I feel like I failed. Sometimes I feel like people's looking at me and laughing at me and going, "Look at me spend all them years doing that and whatever." And you know, he's got nowhere with it. And it's like, that's all good in time. And there's one thing I've learned over the years is seeing a moment in time. Like, you could be overweight right now and people will be looking at you going, you're fat and you're ugly and blah, blah, but seeing 3 months, you could change all that completely. Yeah. You can completely change everything. And seeing the moment in time, you just have to fucking bite it, take it, and move on. And I've learned to do that over the last while. Like, I'm nowhere near where I want to be, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Musically, we're not. Yeah. But I know where we can go with it. And it just takes time. We don't want to rush it. I don't want to rush it. I just want to enjoy the journey. And I do believe the two of us will be sitting on stage somewhere. Fucking at the Grammys, man. Why not?
Why not? You know,
I've actually been thinking about picking up my suit for the Grammys for the last 2 weeks.
Really?
Picture and everything, man. But
that's what we got to do.
Vision board. Vision and everything. Yeah. And you know, I think before, when I was younger, maybe whenever you were younger too, Steve, this took off when we were 18, 19. I think
would have taken it for granted.
And the ego would have been ridiculous.
Like, we just fueled all that. Obviously, you want to appear to be modest and humble and appreciative, but you're still very much like,
like, I would love to, like, see if I was at the Grammys last week, I'd love to just come home and go out for lunch. I know I probably wouldn't be able to do that, but I just would. I wouldn't give a fuck. I wouldn't care, and just enjoy it. But Michael, it's been great chatting with you, man. Obviously, as usual. That's been an hour, man. Oh, well. It's now 12:15.
Oh, flip. Right, okay.
It's been great.
Well, good. I'm sure we didn't get through all your questions. I don't. Maybe we did.
We didn't, but you know, and this is the thing about the podcast is we've learned so much about you now, and there's so much more you're going to learn about me, and on our podcast, we're going to learn more about you. And I think the next one we're going to have our first guest on, which is going to be interesting.
All right.
Yeah.
Who's that?
I don't know yet.
We will figure that out.
We will figure it out, but we are. Yeah, I think it's.
But no, that'd be good. We'll have somebody else break things up, and then we'll get back to us.
Yeah, we'll get back to us again, and we'll have more questions. But man, it's been awesome. It's been great listening to you talk, and been great having you talk and not me fucking jabber on for an hour.
Probably didn't answer half your questions that you did ask. But,
well, I was trying to get deeper there, but you kept subconsciously.
I'm surface level, man. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Man, it was great, and I was great asking you questions to get to know more about you. And thanks for asking that, man.
Yeah. Until next time.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in and watching, and hopefully you enjoyed your time with us. Do comment below or reach us on Instagram messages if you'd like to hear anything more or unpack anything from the first episode or the second episode with myself and Jordan. We would love to bring those and say, this person asked this. Yeah. Can you speak to it a bit more and address those directly? So do that. Thank you so much for tuning in. And also, you've got a new song coming out depending on when you're watching this.
Yeah. A Little Love is coming out on the 27th of September. So which is right now, that's next Friday. It's called Little Love, and it's a new direction. I'm quite nervous about it, but I'm excited too because I'm starting to become me. I'm starting to become Jordan O'Keefe, and it's exciting. And there's a lot of new music to come after it, which is sort of similar to this new direction. And I can't wait. I cannot wait. So hopefully that you'll see this before it goes out. And
no pressure.
If not, no pressure because Michael has to edit it. But no, and if not, just go and check out the new song. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate everyone that does come on. And I know we're only starting out, but even we go on and have a look at the people who's voted at how good the podcast is or how many people's listened to it. Actually, the people who even just message me, I just appreciate you taking the time out. They listen to us. And
yeah, same.
Hopefully you enjoyed this one, and there's going to be many more to come. I'm Jordan O'Keefe.
I'm Michael Wright.
And this is the Woodridge podcast. Let's catch you soon.
Later.
Call my daddy on the phone. This life ain't all it's cracked up to be. I'm gone.